Alright guys, so today we are going to try and pull this engine and transmission out. It's got a leaking timing cover and a leaking rear main seal. If you watched the previous video, the part 1, you probably saw me do some of the earlier stuff with just removing some things off the engine to make it a little bit easier to pull out. But with this next part, I'm going to be going into a little bit more detail, showing how I remove the catalytic converters, take the transmission mounts off and engine mounts. But right now, pretty much everything is disconnected from the engine as far as wiring harnesses and things like that. I still have to go through the underside. Probably going to take off some more parts like the alternator and the AC compressor, possibly the water pump if I really need to. Let's get to it. So, just a recap of the last video, part 1. Some of the things I took off was the radiator fan shroud, the fan, serpentine belt. I took the upper intake plenum off. I just find it easier to get some chains on the engine without that in the way. I don't want to pinch it or possibly bend those bolts that hold that intake on in any way. The other thing I took off was the metal coolant line here on the passenger side, intake box, AC compressor lines that run all the way to the back over there, and I also disconnected this power steering, which I believe this is a 24mm socket here. I just used an impact gun to get that off. I drained the oil. I think I got one bolt off of this heat shield for the manifold. Alright, so it's disconnected here. The next step is to remove the wires from the starter and from the alternator. Alright, so I got the alternator out, got everything disconnected from it and the starter. The best way to disconnect everything from the alternator is to go ahead and unbolt it from the engine, and then all of those wires and stuff are easily accessible once you take it out. I think it's just a few more clips and then this wiring harness here will be disconnected from the engine. I don't know if y'all can see in there, but there is not a transmission bolt at the very top. I did take my engine or my transmission to go get rebuilt about 12 months ago. Whenever they rebuilt it for $3,800, they didn't put the nuts back on here. I had to do that myself, so my transmission was kind of flopping around back here. You might be able to see it better now. There's nothing there. You can see the transmission's also leaking transmission fluid. They never bolted them back to the engine, and I think they bent them up a little bit.